Blake Lively is known for her charm and effortless elegance, but beneath that polished exterior lies a history of eyebrow-raising moments that have sparked controversy, backlash, and even legal battles. From lawsuits to shocking comments and bizarre behavior, we're diving deep into the most unbelievable moments that prove Blake may not be as perfect as she seems. The lawsuit that exposed it all. One of the most jaw-dropping incidents involving Blake Lively came to light through a lawsuit, revealing an awkward and controversial exchange with producer Jamie Heath. Blake reportedly invited Jamie and other executives to her trailer for a meeting. When Jamie arrived, he found Blake having makeup removed from her collarbone while breastfeeding. Though Jamie immediately asked if he should return later, Blake declined and insisted the meeting continue. What followed was even more shocking. 2 weeks later, Blake accused Jamie of making inappropriate eye contact with her during the encounter. Jamie immediately apologized, stating he didn't realize he had looked at her in any inappropriate manner. However, Blake's response raised eyebrows. "I know you weren't trying to cop a look." This comment carried unsettling historical implications, especially considering Jamie is a black man. In the era of slavery, black men were often brutally punished, even executed for making eye contact with white women. Blake's reaction, paired with the fact that she was married at a former plantation, led many to question whether racial undertones played a role in the situation. Problematic past statements. Blake's history of making troubling comments doesn't stop there. In an old interview, she recalled dressing in bronzer and an afro wig to follow boys around an arcade, saying, "We decided one night to go to the arcade where they were, and I put bronzer all over myself in a Scary Spice fro, so I thought they would think I was like a black girl."
My best friend and I, when we were in 10th grade, we had like crazy crushes. We would drive around, like stalk these guys. We decided one night to go to the arcade where they were, and I put bronzer all over myself in a Scary Spice fro, so I thought they would think I was like a black girl, and so I could stalk them. My friend.
This attempt at cosplaying as a black girl for personal amusement was met with heavy criticism, as it echoed offensive racial stereotypes. The Gossip Girl feud. Blake's time on Gossip Girl wasn't without drama. During a press tour, she made derogatory remarks about her co-star Leighton Meester, seemingly mocking her difficult childhood. Leighton, who was born while her mother was incarcerated, has spoken openly about her challenging upbringing.
Parents had been part of a very interesting lifestyle, I guess you could say.
They were in prison.
Yes.
However, Blake made an offhand joke, saying Leighton started life in a cage.
Everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway. Chuck has a matching pair, and then I got a few of them.
She got a few of them.
Come on, it was a joke.
To make things worse, Blake continued with comments that suggested she viewed herself as superior to Leighton, stating, "Blondes are nicer anyway." While this may have been an attempt at humor, it was a thinly veiled jab at Leighton, who had dyed her hair brunette for her role as Blair Waldorf. Blake has also been accused of being overly controlling of those around her. She once bragged about being called a crown straightener, a term referring to someone who fixes others' behavior.
It's like, someone on social media is calling you a crown straightener. I said, "What's that?" She said, "A woman who goes around straightening other women's crowns." And I was just like, oh, it was just like the best compliment I've ever been given.
While this might sound admirable, it reportedly manifested in Blake adjusting people's movements and appearances in public, making co-stars visibly uncomfortable in interviews. Even during conversations, Blake's castmates often reacted with blank expressions, as if they couldn't believe what was coming out of her mouth. The Game of Thrones text scandal. Another bizarre moment came when private texts between Blake and Justin Baldoni surfaced. In one message, she compared herself to Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, writing, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi. And like her, I happen to have a few dragons for better or worse." This odd remark implied that her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and close friend Taylor Swift were her metaphorical dragons. who would fiercely defend her in public controversies. Ironically, Khaleesi's story ended in betrayal, leading many to speculate that Blake had unintentionally foreshadowed her own downfall. Blake's latest controversy stems from her role in the film adaptation of It Ends With Us. The book, which tackles domestic violence, had an agreement that 1% of the film's proceeds would go toward organizations supporting survivors. However, Blake refused to meet with No More, an advocacy group dedicated to ending domestic violence, and instead chose to market the film as a romantic comedy. Even worse, she used the movie's promotional campaign to push her own alcohol brand, even naming a drink in her beverage line after the film's lead character. Fans were outraged, accusing her of trivializing a deeply serious topic for personal gain. Blake's reputation took another hit when it was revealed that she had allegedly covered up a cheating scandal involving Hugh Jackman. When Hugh's marriage to Deborah Lee Furness ended after 27 years, insiders claim that Blake and Ryan had known about his relationship with Sutton Foster but kept it a secret. Deborah Lee reportedly felt deeply betrayed by their silence.
Perhaps the most ruthless move of all was the way Blake served Justin Baldoni with legal papers. While Justin was evacuating his family during the Los Angeles wildfires, Blake's legal team tracked him down and handed him the lawsuit. Many saw this as an unnecessarily harsh and insensitive action. While Blake Lively has long been regarded as America's sweetheart, her past actions paint a different picture. From racially insensitive remarks and petty feuds to bizarre lawsuits and a lack of accountability, Blake's public image may not be as untarnished as it seems. So, what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.